Right, let's start this skull ring. Right, welcome back to the Diamond Mountain channel. I'm Chris Bilton, a jeweller from London, now living in Japan. I was a professional jeweller for over 2 decades in London, but now I'm here in Japan, got my own little setup, and I'm making instructional jewellery making videos on YouTube. And if you haven't seen my previous video, there's one it's called That Skull Ring, and it was based on this ring I made, which I really like, but unfortunately I've had no luck selling it online. Giving it some thought about what I can do to it to make it more sellable, I just ended up going, nah, stuff it, I'm just going to make something that's going to really test my skill as a jeweller and just do something really, really special, really unique. There won't be another ring like it anywhere in the world. I can assure you of that. We're making this fully diamond set all over. This was a blank casting that would have been prepared like that one, but now it's going to be a sort of a guide for making this. I don't know if you can see the circles there I've got around the outside. See, it doesn't go in there, so this whole dip has got to be changed. Push down or change the shape slightly. I might stretch out a little bit. I'm tempted to make this one big stone and then just to stretch it out like a kind of oval going to a point. I might have a big stone, sort of medium stone, and 2 smaller stones either side of it, so it will kind of open up and then go like this. But decide on that for definite when I get there. First of all, I think best thing I can do is, obviously I've got this ring as a guide, I'm gonna replicate this piece and then I'm gonna do this piece and just get them sitting together as a ring with the nice curves going on and making sure all around the back all lines up nicely, because I can't have that stone directly below that one. They've got to go in between, you know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 3. So they kind of zigzag all the way along around the back. So wish me luck, it's going to be hard. Strip of metal. What is this? .2 by 5, so that's good. I like the depth. I may have some sort of gallery wire going around underneath the stones. I may as well really go for it with full difficulty. And yeah, obviously 5mm, there's plenty of space for the 4mm stones to go on there. Gives me a bit of space to cut them out without worrying about them not having enough on the sides. Having a closer look. Right, these around the back, this is way too wide for 4mm stones. It's not wide enough for 3 rows, but that would just be well over the top. So I was going to have 2 rows of 4mm stones going side by side, which means I've got a bit of space there. It gives me an option or an idea to have a kind of raised edge, do you know what I mean? Going all the way around like that. I think that would be quite cool next to the stones. But then I want these claw set, two claws in between each stone. You know what I mean? So it's going to be like that. I don't want no pave, nothing where I've just got to make a shape and just have stones set in. No, this is a proper claw set, cutting out each little collet for the stone, adding claws. Is a really big job, and that's the way I want it to be as well. It's kind of like a skill test piece, and also it's going to be interesting as well because there's not going to be a ring like this anywhere else in the world, so I get a kick out of that. Right, so yeah, 2 rows of 4mm stones. This width, I do like the width, kind of suits the whole ring, size of the ring, but it's too wide for 4mm stones, so I think I was going to get rid of that. But do I get rid of it all the way to the top? Because these stones go closer to the edge. No, I've got to follow the guide there. So we've got 3 rows of 4. I'll be taking that off. Yeah, I'll just be taking it off basically. I think that's alright. So I'm using this as a guide. Looking at that shape. Obviously it's round that way for the finger. Looking at that way, just keeping all these angles in mind when I'm turning up this piece. With my ring stick. I don't know if you can hear kids shouting in the background. My twin daughters have got their friends over and they're immediately all fighting over the toys. Okay. Yep. Just gonna have a slight tilt on it. Tilting back. Coming round to about here. Tilting more. Okay, I think I know what to do. So I've got to keep the finger size the same as this as well. I can't muck about too much making it different because these are specific size stones and they're all kind of touching the girdles all the way around. If I make it bigger, it's not going to work anymore. If I make it smaller, it's going to really balls it up. Very basic. I've got plenty of metal here to play with. So there you go. There's my middle. I'm expecting to need around about that much metal to go around. Just going to work pretty roughly at first. Now I need to put a stronger curve in the centre. Hello. I'm going to put a stronger curve to get this tilt and then ease up that curve so there's a much more subtle tilt there when it's turned up into a circle. Oh, I just started it. Can't believe it. I've thought about this so long. My experience with these kind of big jobs that you're hesitant to begin just because they're a bit daunting. When you get into them, they're actually alright. Just trying to change my mindset rather than thinking, oh, it's going to go on for months, it's going to be a nightmare. Just change the words that are in my mind. Just like, no, I'm going to get into it, it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to be really satisfying when it's done. Also, it's going to be a piece to really show off what I can do. And I'm hoping to do some exhibitions in the future. So this will be a piece that goes in an exhibition. Working in fresh metal is so nice compared to melt ups. A lot of stuff I do on my videos is all just bits out of like pots like that. Just all bits melted up, and it's always a really hard kind of alloy. Or if it feels soft, it will immediately go hard as soon as you start bending it. Okay, so let's turn this up. Try to keep everything symmetrical and nice. What huge size? We're going to Q. So that's got to be. Let's just get it straight first, and then I'm going to bend it back. I think that's an easier way to get it accurate. So I'm going to make it like a kind of coney sort of ring, perhaps a little bit bigger than I need it to be, and then I'm going to bend that ring kind of in half to try and get this curve. It's still getting confusing. I've got this straight bit at the end of my curve. Let me just chop this off. Boom. I lost my halfway point. Get that line. Alrighty, approaching the size I need. Just going to go a bit bigger so I can give myself a bit of space to play if I need to adjust it anyway. Like that, cut that off. I'll tweak it if I need to, straighten it up. I'll solder it up, and then I'm going to see if I can put a bend in it. Alright, so it's kind of the right size now. To chop a bit out, get the size down. Just looking at it from the side so I can check my curve. It's not as big a difference as I was hoping where I turned it more. But I think I can solder it up and we can pull it about a bit and get the desired curves we need. So next step, I'm just going to make that join nice, then I'll solder it up. I'm soldering it up with hard solder this time at the beginning stages. I don't want any more hassle like I had with that 3-stone recently. No one to blame but myself. Can't blame the solder, I can't blame the metal. No one else here telling me to do things a certain way. I had the solder, I had hard solder, I just didn't use it because I don't like using it. It doesn't flow, this stuff. This Japanese hard solder is no joke. Well, maybe you can watch it now. Like, it doesn't flow until the metal is just about to melt. And yeah, I know I used to say you should squeeze things together, but with hard solder, the metal gets so soft, it's going to squash out of shape if I put tension on it. So for this time, I'm not doing my tension trick. Yeah, easy solder would have flooded now. I think normal hard solder would be sweating. Still there, like a little square. The surface sweating a little bit, and it's still not flooded. Ah! God damn, this hard solder is too hard. It's soldered up and out of the acid. Size is about right-ish. Difficult to tap. I may put it on my ring stretcher. Just tap in that smaller size edge. I've got quite a lot of thickness to play with, so if I'm putting little dents on that sharp edge, it doesn't matter too much. Because this piece is too wide, remember, as well for my stones, so I've got plenty of space to bang this about a bit. So squash is a bit oval, I'm doing it on the bench. Okay. Alright, this is good. A little bit more. I like my angles for the forehead bit, but I've gone a bit too steep for this one. I'm sure I can yank it about. I don't want to just file it because I want to keep the same thickness there, like both sides. I don't want one side. Obviously that angle is like that, yeah, I can't just file it more flat because then I've got one thinner side. I don't want that to happen. So I've got to get the metal the correct shape and curvature. Right, so now I'm going to try and get this kind of scoopy action going on by putting it in my vise and whacking it. So I'm putting a bit of cardboard in there. Let's make sure I get this the right way around. So I want that to bend that way. Handy having my solder joint at one end in the middle because I can constantly use that as a guide to make sure I'm getting all my angles how I want them. Alright, so I can squeeze that quite hard. can literally do this with my fingers, I reckon. Hang on. Nah. It's gonna be, curve's gonna be too low down. That's a bit better. Give me something to bang it with. Got to get this right before I start cutting out the sort of scallops for the stones. Might do, you know. So this is the piece direct from the vise. I haven't done anything with it. Got that curve on. Looking very odd, which I imagine that will if I cut that off. This is sort of the inside, or the skull ring face going to come off there. The other bit's going to curve in like that and join up there. It's just I was thinking in the vise, I was just looking at this curve. I want the curve kind of this top third really to be curved, and then this kind of straight. So sitting like that. This angle's a bit steeper than I want. I may cut it open and tweak that in a little bit. It certainly doesn't matter about losing this oval shape too much. That's quite a severe oval there. So I may straighten this half. I quite like this top half. Yeah, this is round, which is nice because that's what you're going to look at when it's on a ring stick. But even if, definitely the back of the finger, I want it really nice and round. But if that has to lift up a little bit, I don't mind that, because I can do like a kind of like a gallery wire, just the top section with some pips in. I quite like the idea of doing that, so I may even on purpose lift that up a little bit more, round that off a bit more, cut a little sort of triangle shape out of that, just to get that to cut a triangle out, and then as I pull it back in line, it's gonna flatten it. So that's it for episode 1, 2 of that skull ring. I'll show you like a little stage here and there. This is certainly no full instructional guide, because I don't even know how I'm going to make it as I go along. I'm sure I'm going to encounter problems that I didn't think we're going to run into. I've got sort of a mishmash of ideas of how it's going to be possible, so I'll just find out when I get to it, and I kind of enjoy making things like that. Like the whole thing is just quite experimental, but this is alright. It's kind of worked out okay. I can work with that. It needs adjustment, but that's all part of the fun as well, getting it how you need it to be before moving on. So with that in mind, let me remind you, I'm on Patreon now, so if you want to support the channel, there are 3 different tiers. You've got £5, £10, £25, each with different benefits. The VIP members get me as a personal consultant, so you can contact me anytime about anything, and I will guide you. Well, I can give you advice about how I would go about making what you're attempting to make, or if you're a bit stuck about how to do something, you're welcome to contact me about that, and then I will try and understand what you're doing, and then think about the best way to move forward with it. And who are you, Chris, to give me advice? I'm just a jeweler, but I've got a lot of experience, and I've been trained by some very talented people. So I want to share what I've learned with everyone, and if I can give you direct help, I'll be happy to do that. But it's not free. It's £25 a month. And you'll be supporting the channel as well. All money I get from Patreon, and all money basically I get from doing little private jobs or repairs for local people, all goes back into this, like buying tools and getting things going. So everything any money I receive all helps the channel grow, and ideally I want it to move into the future and turn into a kind of reference library of how-tos of how to do things. And that'll be cool. That's my dream for the future of the channel. So with your support, we can make it happen. But that's it. Hit like, subscribe, share, and see you next time for more diamond mounting. Thanks, bye.